What's going on? Welcome back to another edition of the Evolution of Sports Talk Television here live off of my page, off of Facebook, YouTube, and of course, Twitter. It's the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. And again, how do we start off the show? Bring your passion, bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. And we've had some breaking news here the last couple hours, so I felt like I owed you guys, the webheads out there, to give you the latest with your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, we got a little bit of time because it is lunch break. I have to eat something, so we'll see how this goes and how this plays out. But there is an open phone line. 727-255-0391. It's 727-255-0391. Of course, fast approaching to the draft, only 1 day away from Cleveland. And of course, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers continue their unbelievable offseason by signing the likes of an Antonio Brown to a 1-year contract, $6.25 million, according to Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network. 3.1 is fully guaranteed. $2 million signing bonus. Of course, Brown last year coming off of legal trouble the last couple years before he went to the Bucs. A highly talented wide receiver that Tom Brady was absolutely pushing for. And you can see that Brady was pushing for him to get him back in the fold. And that's exactly what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have done here. 45 catches last year, 483 yards, 4 touchdowns, and absolutely you would have to believe, and I'm just reading this comment right now from Reginald Gray, deepest receiving core in the league. Obviously, you have Mike Evans. Of course, you have a Chris Godwin, and now you have Antonio Brown, and you forgot about the likes of a Tyler Johnson, and of course, a Scotty Miller. So once again, the Bucs doing Buccaneer things, and somebody asked me off air, you know, how does this affect the draft? To me, it affects the draft in many ways because now that's not a position of need. Not that it was in the first place, but now with the Brown signing, you're not going to have to go after a receiver like a Rashawn Bateman from Minnesota. You're not going to have to go after a Terrence Marshall out of LSU or Kadarius Toney from Florida or Rondale Moore from a Purdue. You're going to be able to attack another position. And oh, by the way, in case you forgot, this from Field Yates of what the Bucs have done to put this in context and perspective. All 22 Super Bowl starters, the only team, ladies and gentlemen, during the salary cap era. What the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have done in this offseason has been absolutely unbelievable. You guys know how talented Antonio Brown is. And now, look, the 45 catches, a half a year. Now he's going to have a full year. Now he's going to be even more comfortable because he's going to have an off season. You're going to have those off season workouts. You're going to have a preseason. You're going to be even more comfortable in this offense. And you just look at it. I just believe this offense, the sky's the limit for this team, including a Brown. But going back to Mr. Field Yates of ESPN, their top 16 snap count leaders are all back on offense. Their top 21 snap count leaders on defense are all back. So nothing is holding this team back, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, from doing some big things in 2021. And as I've said on my previous shows before, I would definitely expect the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'll put this out there again, Super Bowl or bust. So let's go out to the comments here really quick, read them. We'll take some phone calls, and then if we don't get no phone calls, I'm going to go back and eat, and I just wanted to update you, and we'll see how this draft plays out because there's still a lot of things to be decided with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who will they pick at number 32? Who would you like to see them pick at number 32? Do they trade out? Could it be a long wait for Tampa Bay Buccaneer fans tomorrow night? You're already going to have a wait till 32. It could be longer. This could extend out to Friday night. Again, Reginald Gray says, I'm watching, working from home. Don't tell the boss. I'm working from home too, thanks to the mayor of New York, Mr. Anthony Giuliani. And of course, Jake, I'm not going to say Snick. I'll say the Polo Prince, Marco Polo, the Polo Prince, for giving me the opportunity to work from home. And of course, Acquisition Technologies for getting an opportunity to do this for you guys, because I always love talking sports anytime, anywhere, any place. You just never know when the evolution of Sports Talk Television is going to pop up on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. We'll get some definite times there. Deep receiver core in the draft. Kuna Kun says, hello, Peter. What's going on? Reginald says, prediction, first pick pass rusher. In my opinion, it's going to be Joe Tryon from Washington. I don't think I'm really giving you any inside information more than anything else. I think that's been predicted, but it's tough to say. It's really tough to say about this draft process because you really don't know who's going to drop, right? You don't know because you're picking at 32. And with the opt-outs this year and players, going off of 2 years in those evaluations, you don't know. So there could be somebody that you least expected. Tell you what, let's go out to Mr. Antoine Santiago. Welcome to the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Antonio Brown resigns. Your thoughts? Go.
Hi, Peter Blake.
How you doing, bud?
What's from Temple, Florida?
Yeah, what do you think about the re-signing today, bud?
I love it. I love this re-signing. I love the Kevin Blake recut, pay cuts.
Mm-hmm.
I love both signings.
Okay.
We get especially the Tony Brown, because now the Bucs don't have to draft a receiver now.
Okay.
This year's draft.
Sure. Definitely helps them out, right? I mean, you would think that this offense is going to be even better. I mean, you add Giovanni Bernard and you get Brown back and you have all these wide receivers. I mean, you have to be elated right now. You have to be doing dances.
I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm happy. I have some thoughts. I have some idea what Bucs could do in round one now.
Okay.
Maybe round two. We could go offensive line or D line.
Sure.
I heard the defense line is not that good. The best D line is Baltimore from Alabama. I guess Tyler Moore.
I like him. I like Christian Barmore a lot. I like him. I think he's been talented. I think he's 8 sacks. I don't necessarily think he has to come in right away and start. And that's the great thing about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this situation, in this offseason. They have set themselves up. The Glazers, Jason Light, this coaching staff, not losing coordinators.
Coach of the year, MVP.
Organization of the year. It's been amazing. Amazing offseason.
Yes,
so, going back to Barmore, he doesn't have to necessarily come in and start right away. He has 8 sacks, and he could be a rotational player. So that's who you like to see them draft.
How about Kyle Trask from Florida?
Certainly a possibility. Certainly a possibility. It's been talked about.
I like Mood too. I like the word Mood.
Mm-hmm.
Mood.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe round one, maybe round two. I think. Would you be running back from round one now?
Would I be surprised if they go running back? I would be, because I think you're set there at that position, Eric. I do.
Because after next, I'm talking about the year after next year, because Fournette is on a 1-year deal.
Correct.
We got Ronald Jones on a 1-year deal.
Correct.
And we only one back we have left for us is the guy who draft Keyshawn Vaughn for 2 more years.
Very true.
Do we draft?
It's a very astute point. You have Ronald Jones under a 1-year contract. You have Leonard Fournette under a 1-year contract. It's going to be prove-it deals this year. We'll see who wins out in that competition. You're exactly right. Giovanni Bernard, who's going to be a pass-catching threat. He's only under a 1-year contract. And Keyshawn Vaughn, you still don't know. They invested a high 3rd-round pick. So is there a possibility to go running back? I guess they could. I guess you could go a Najee Harris out of Alabama or Travis Etienne out of Clemson. But Eric, I'm going to tell you something. I don't necessarily think those players are there, and I'll tell you why. Because you have the New York Jets picking, okay? You have the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm telling you right now, watch out, ladies and gentlemen, for the Steelers and Najee Harris. That makes so much sense to see that in a Travis Etienne to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It's 2 good running backs from South Carolina right now. 2 good running backs, the boy Carter and the boy Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 running backs could go. Those other 2 running backs could also go. You could see 4 first-round running backs could go in the first round this year.
If that's where the Bucs want to go, there's certainly a possibility, but I don't see them doing that in the first round, possibly the 2nd or the 3rd round. But I think they're very happy with what they have, and it's a great opportunity, Eric, to look at.
I I have a question for you before
Sure.
you get off the phone. I know other people want to call in.
Sure.
But what do you think we do in round one? If you have to guess tomorrow night, trade up, trade down, or stay put, what do you think we do in tomorrow night's draft?
I think they stay put. I think you stay at 32. You see who the best player on the board is. If it's a guy like a Joe Tryon out of Washington, you go for it. If it's an offensive lineman like a Landon Dickerson from Alabama or Jalen Mayfield out of Michigan, you're in good situation there. I don't necessarily think you have a great need at this point, and the Bucs again have set themselves up.
Because we get the fifth-year option, the 32 pick, we get the fifth-year option as well.
Sure.
Fifth-year option.
Sure, absolutely. So they did some other things today, so we'll get to it. Eric, thanks a lot for the call, man. I appreciate you. Definitely don't be a stranger, all right?
I'm well.
All right, buddy. Oh, absolutely. I'll go ahead and fire those. All right. We'll read the rest of these comments, and then we'll also talk about what they did, what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, besides the re-signing of an Antonio Brown, because this came down, and we knew that they had to free some money up. That's what they did. What you're watching right now is the evolution of Sports Talk Television. It's the Sports Web, live here on Lunch Break on my Facebook page, of course, YouTube and Twitter. I'm your host, Peter Blake, giving you something to think about. Again, we'll read prediction, first pick pass rusher. Like it. Pat says it's a great day in Tampa Bay. That it is. I know you like the shirt with Tom Brady there, my man, Peter Blake. Thanks a lot, Jeff, for tuning in. I'm kind of hoping to see us take a receiver that can return kicks, although I think the Brown signing has kind of eliminated that. It's certainly a possibility, maybe in the later rounds. We've heard they've talked to Diedrich Felton from UCLA. That would be a guy possibly that you could center on here in the later rounds. Let's go Bucs, says Eric. Jeremiah Quinn Meniers, I feel, should be our first pick. Certainly has been bandied about on recent reports, being a center and a guard. And look, the Bucs, they love those players at the offensive line position that are highly versatile, can play tackle, can play center, can play guard, and definitely Meniers, is a guy that I think the Bucs would be interested in, possibly in the first round, possibly second, third round. What does it mean for the draft now, Blake? Definitely already told you that. What's going on, Frank? How you doing? Christopher Cole, edge rusher. I think a lot of people like that. We can't wait until you're out at Fergs. I won't be out there. That will be my the other platform, but that's okay. They'll do a hell of a job, and we'll see if we're going to be coming on here when the Bucs make that pick here. Just keep it right here on the Sports Web, the evolution of Sports Talk Television. Sitton says, let's go Bucs. Yash says, let's go Bucs. Hello, Bucs family. Let me go ahead and fire right there. Yash says, hope we go defense first round. I think there's a lot of Bucs fans out there that would like to see them go defense first round. And really, if you look at it, is it a bad thing if you go defense? Because defense wins championships. And what did we see, ladies and gentlemen? What did we see this team do to the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes? Make that guy run 497 yards behind the line of scrimmage, run all around. So why not stock up with the JPP coming off an injury, with him getting up there in age? I get it, Shaq just signed a one-year contract, but you can never have enough pass rushers in that rotation. You can never have enough defensive tackles and defensive ends. So I definitely could see them going in that direction. They restructured Brake contract. That they did. I was going to get to that, but you kind of stole my thunder. But that was the other news here with the Antonio Brown deal. According to Greg Auman of The Athletic, the Bucs were only $934,000, I'll round up to $935, and space under the salary cap per NFL Players Association records. So they'll have to make cuts and restructure. They did that with Brown's contract, of course. They did that with Cameron Brate as they restructured his deal to get them under that deal, which definitely will help them out. And again, this according to Phil Yates of ESPN. The Bucs and tight end Cameron Brate have agreed to a rework deal that clears $4.69 in cap space. Before that, Brate will get $2.25 signing bonus, 1.075 in 2021 with the team option for the final 2 years of the deal. And how that works out for the final 2 years, the deal will be 6.8 and 7.5. Of course, Brate going into his 8th season, 28 catches last year, 282 yards. 2 touchdowns, and of course added 14 catches for 175, 2 touchdowns in the playoffs. A lot of people have kind of talked about Brayton saying, well, the Bucs will move on without him because you have OJ Howard. They picked up his 5th-year option, but the quandary, Leo Word, that's right, Leo Haggerty, the great Leo Haggerty, would say, look, OJ Howard's not able to stay healthy, okay? And that's the reason why you're going to re-sign a Cameron Brate, because not only is he a guy that's going to be able to stay healthy, but also he's dependable, right? I mean, how dependable was Brate during the season, and how much more dependable was he during the postseason? In fact, I think you would have to say he became Tom Brady's go-to guy, and the propensity of Tom Brady throwing to tight ends definitely is the reason why you're going to have a Cameron Brate on this team. So Bucs making moves, making other moves. I mean, the NFL, the National Football League, is basically playing checkers, and the Bucs are playing chess. And that's what it comes down to. In case you missed the breaking news of the day, Antonio Brown has been re-signed to a 1-year contract worth $3.1 million, up to $6.25 with incentives. We got AB back, Cameron Brate restructure on the same day. Sitton says, yes, thank you so much for Antonio Brown. Roger Shoot, nobody cares about the draft. Everybody cares about the draft, trollback. Of course, you care about the draft, and that's why you're here. Christian Barmore at 32, and Sitton says, I like to see a nice kickoff return receiver. I think, that's certainly a possibility of where the Bucs would explore it because of the impending legal trouble with goodness gracious, I forgot his name at this point, but they definitely are looking to improve that situation with this team going forward. So let's go ahead and wrap it up. I got to eat some lunch here, but the breaking news of the day, according to various sources, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have re-signed, and this is according to Mike Garafolo of the NFL Network, Antonio Brown to a 1-year deal worth $6.25, 3.1 fully guaranteed, $2 million signing bonus. AB is back in the fold with their Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they continue this unbelievable offseason. Keep it right here on the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television. I'm going to go eat some lunch now. But guys, thanks a lot. Once again, Jaden Mickens, of course, there you go. Jaden Mickens with the legal trouble with Jaden Mickens. Certainly a possibility for them to address that spot in the draft. So this has been the Sports Web, the evolution of sports talk television, live here on your lunch hour. Thanks a lot for all the support. Thanks a lot for the calls. The one call. We'll try to get more calls here soon. Just keep on tuning in to the Sports Web. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Again, breaking news of the day. Antonio Brown re-signs with your Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Guys, have a great day and do 3 things for me, if you will. Write them down. There's a quiz afterwards the next time we come back. Bring your passion. Bring your excitement. Just don't bring any nonsense. I'm your host, Peter Blake. Have a great day.